máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV láwa.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá o.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV. Poly TV Ilaro la kalẹ̀ sí o. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo ayé ń fẹ́. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo èèyàn ń fẹ́. Ìròyìn kò máa dẹ tá mojú bá. Poly TV tí gbogbo ayé ń retí. A ní ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly. Poly TV Ilaro la kalẹ̀ sí o. Tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́ pé Poly TV ẹ ti máa gbọ́, wá dẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́ o. Poly TV Ilaro la wà nínú Poly gangan o, nínú Poly la wà o. Poly TV, Poly TV, Poly TV wá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ o. Móhùnmáwòrán wa táwa fẹ́ mú ìdàgbàsókè wa, wá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́. Poly fún dàgbàsókè, TV fún dàgbàsókè o. Wá ti máa gbọ́, wá ti máa gbọ́ o. Ó yá pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Ó yá pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV tá ń sọ tí gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pàkúrú máa kẹ́wò dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà, ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. Ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ pàkúrúmá, pàkúrúmá, kẹ́jọ dáadáa, kẹ́jọ dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ pàkúrúmá, kẹ́jọ dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ pàkúrúmá, kẹ́jọ dáadáa, àjọ dáadáa, jọ dáadáa, jọ dáadáa, òun là ń retí, ẹjọ dáadáa.
It's still the Poly TV show, and now we are on to the next segment, which is from the DSA office, and we have the Dean Directorate of Student Affairs, Dr. Olusegun Omowumi, with us in the studio to report to us what has been happening from the DSA office. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So now we have to know what's going on in the DSA office.
Thank you. It's been a beehive of activities in the Directorate of Student Affairs. As you all know, the primary mandate of the office is to take care of the welfare and security of the students, both on campus and off campus. So in the recent times, we have focused mainly on the security of the students, particularly outside the campus, because of the information about celebration of 7/7, even that of June, and sincerely speaking, it has been very, very herculean.
Okay, so that's great. I saw a memo yesterday that said that students should be indoors from 9 p.m. So is that also for security reasons?
Yes, because every 7th of July, yearly, the neo-black movement, they always celebrate, you know, the prominence of the activities. In fact, throughout the world, not only in Nigeria. And in order to protect our students, the best we could do was to restrict their movement within their, their milieu, so that to curtail any unforeseen, circumstances.
Okay. And also, there's been some agitation from students that some recent dressing were outlawed or so, like you can't wear nose ring and some other things. Like recently, I don't know what do you have to say from your hands about that, sir?
Big Sam, that's correct. It has been like that. We are not just starting that.
Yeah, of course.
And all those, how do I put it? Dress guidelines, they are contained in the student handbook.
Okay.
So it is nothing unusual to the students. And except those who feel they are not comfortable, those are the people who are agitating. It is clearly written that you cannot use multiple earring, nose ring, leg chain, and the rest. And they are contained. You know, in every organization, every system, there are rules and regulations. So, and that is the main reason why, before you matriculate, you familiarize, we orientate you, so that you know whether you are ready to key in into those, the extant laws. So once you matriculate and you swear the oath, we believe that you are ready to cope with the rules and regulations.
To talk more on that, we did some vox pop to ask students how the DSA react, and the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro generally reacts to indecent dressing. And I met a lady, she mentioned that she was coming from the DSA office. I said, what happened? She said she used eyelashes. So I know that it just started that rule not to use eyelashes. So what are the reason that the DSA come in conclusion that students shouldn't use eyelashes anymore?
Except time will permit me to go down a little on the memory lane. There was a year, a lady used eyelashes. And when one of our friends was trying to assist her to remove it, it nearly damaged the upper part of the eye. And when we heard that, we thought the best thing, was to at least minimize the excessive use of all those cosmetics aspect of fashion. So if you are coming to the class, you don't need to wear bogus eyelashes. It will protect your eyes. One, then it will even protect you from distraction, because when you use excessive eyelashes, you are sending signals to my boys around. So
you're advertising.
So
Okay.
that's it.
That's great. I was
Okay,
sorry.
but you mentioned bogus musical eyelashes, but I think at this point in time, the law was stating that they should not
use eyelashes
use at all.
yes.
Not what you're saying now, sir. Is there any?
There is they still use it. Sometimes we look away, but what is important is that our female students have already understood that they are not allowed to use bogus eyelashes.
No,
The
that's-
majority of them still use moderate ones,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we look away. Even these days I see many of them with big what do you call it? Hair wig. Abi?
Yeah, we.
I saw one today. It looked like a hot. I just laughed. But reasonably, when you are in an academic environment, I think fashion should be moderate.
Moderate. And also, and that brings me to this part of my question. I'm aware that the Polytechnic has a culture where a culture of inclusion, where students as well as staff are they are all inclusive. But there's something that is still lacking, and that's the aspect of student representation in strategic committee on campus. And you find out that if you go to other institutions, students are duly represented. I'm not talking about the political aspect now. I'm talking about appointments, committees, and all that. For instance, for the Polytechnic, what's it called, electoral committee, I'm aware that students are adequately represented on that committee.
Thank you for
but that is not the case on other aspects of the, for instance, the disciplinary committee. Students are not, are not members of that committee. Other key, aspect that relates to students, you find out that students are not duly represented. And as the Dean for Students Affairs of this Polytechnic, don't you think it's high time? And I can recall that I think there was a time it was raised or so by one of the, a very prominent member of staff of this institution, on the reason for students to be on board of certain strategic student-centered committee. And so what do you have to say about that, sir?
Thank you very much. My take on that is that I think that area is just evolving. Of course, presently, we have a committee on student matters of the governing council, where the president and the speaker of the student union are standing members.
Okay.
That is key and strategic. All cases or all manners of student involvement, activities, discipline, and all the rest are discussed there. So they can actively participate in that. But that is not to say that it is enough. I think we can only do better, especially by bringing them on board of
I think
student disciplinary committee.
Exactly. That committee is very, very important. And because, for instance, before cases are taken to the one you mentioned now, the governing council committee, it must have passed through, that committee. And it's possible that the way you might see something, sir, you might not see from my own perspective. Especially the fact that I'm a youth. You're also a youth, but but the fact that you might want to exactly. So and again, so your own experience or your own viewpoint of issues might be different from the way I might say it. So there's possibility that our judgment might be biased or might not really, fit into the situation that is. And so I would actually, I don't know, but so far so good. I feel that's, like I mentioned on the aspect of the student electoral committee, that's a very fantastic case. And the one you just mentioned, I didn't even know about this, but I think there might be need for the institution to also look into the aspect of that area, then also include
that is the student disciplinary committee. Well, I will personally work on that before I step down as the Dean Student Affairs.
Wow.
For disciplinary action to take place in this institution, it has processes.
Yes. Okay.
It will emanate from my table after I have done preliminary investigation. Then it will be forwarded to the office of the rector. The rector will look at it. Then, if it is necessary, the rector will send it to student disciplinary committee. For the disciplinary committee, it is a committee of men and women of integrity, par excellence. They look at issues from different perspectives. And of course, it helps the student to get the rights to fair hearing. Sometimes it takes 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks before a case is concluded. And after that, don't forget, the report will go back to the rector. And the rector will now send the report to academic board for discussion, thorough discussion, where all the cases will be distilled on merit basis. And the final judgment will be taken there. So I think it is not just he has offended, go and kill him, or he has done this, go take her away. No, it has due process. So that is just my consolation about the shortage of representation in that particular area. So it's not a shoddy process at all.
Of course.
So
of course.
If it is done that way, but maybe at the end of the day we can we can say, okay, one or two student leaders could be on that panel, as we have in the student junior electoral committee. I'll work on that before I step down as the student affairs.
Thank you so much for that. So I would like to ask, is there anything going on from your end, from the DSA's end? Is there anything going on that you would like to share with us?
Probably stories or some bizarre stories or
Yes.
news about.
Yeah,
students
thank you
related
very
to
much.
it.
Thank you very much. Every second, things are going
Stories
on.
will
in the
definitely
DSA.
come, exactly.
You know, we run 24 hours. We
Yes.
don't close shop. in
Yes.
the
Of course.
DSA.
Because Sundays you're still there and every day.
Presently, the students, I mean, the mini buses donated by Senator Adeola Olamilekan, popularly and graciously known as Yayi. The mini buses donated by him are being put into operation. So we monitor it so that we'll see how, you know, it assists the students in the area of easing transportation problem. Because that is the main purpose of the man bringing the mini buses.
And I was going to ask from that angle, because I asked the PRO on this same question. The fact that we have what's it called, varying means of transport on campus. We have the big shuttle buses.
Yeah.
We have the
Mini shuttle
motorcycle.
buses.
We have the mini shuttle now. I was going to find out, majority of students live outside the campus, not inside the campus. At least I can say about 90% of the students are, you know, domiciled outside the campus. Don't you think those buses should have been deployed for use outside and not, inside, as requested by the president?
Okay, let me start from the number of students who live outside the campus. You are correct. Well over 90% live outside the campus, because the best spaces we have in the hostel are just 836 best spaces. So it then means that majority of the students are residents in the community. But with the mini buses donated, the security of the buses is very important.
Yeah.
The security of the students is very
It's also
important.
important.
So we want to see how we can survey where they can apply in the town, where we can actually ensure security. If you look at the buses, they are branded.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
we have the opinion that if we send it far away from the campus, we may find a group of people who are not happy with that particular individual that has donated the. We have seen cases like that in other,
Of course.
I
think I understand.
in other areas where they can vandalize the vehicle. And if it happens, what happens to the security of the student therein? It becomes the responsibility of the management to say, okay, first, let us operate within the campus. Then, when we are certain that the security of the buses and that of our students, which is more paramount to us, is ensured, then we can say, okay, go to Rita, go to Express, go to Deuteronomy, go to so many other areas where our students are resident.
I must give it to the Directorate of Student Affairs. This morning I saw everything you put in place, starting from the student checking them, make sure they're dressed in decently, and as well, managing the Okada riders as well for the benefit of the student. I must give it to the Directorate of Student Affairs.
Thank you very much.
You've really been doing great one, and thank you so much for doing more of this. So you mentioned, I asked earlier that what are the things happening from the Directorate of Student Affairs, and you mentioned that of the minibuses. So are
Yes.
there any ones that
We have many.
Okay.
Just this afternoon, we had an interactive session with the Chief Medical Director of the Polytechnic Medical Center and the student union leaders. And it was very interesting. We spent about 2 hours there, exchanging views on, the misconception about the clinic and, how to move the clinic forward, how students can get the best service delivery from that end. And beyond that, students are coming in to pick their ID card from the office. Some are coming in to report cases of, theft or other misdemeanor around town, around the campus. So it's a very busy office, completely busy. So beyond that, we still have a surveillance, we have intelligence, group scattered here and there collecting information that can help us manage the security, system.
And also, sir, a quick one. Just on Friday, we had the inaugural show of Poly TV. And as the Dean for the Directorate of Students Affairs, you are more or less the father and the mother, to the students on campus.
No doubt about that.
Exactly. So, sir, and you've been doing the job fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I want to find out, how do you intend to, to make students buy into the idea of this project Poly TV? Because it's not enough to just have content. We also have we need student involvement, in this whole thing for them to engage, to watch, and also for them to be fully involved in this, because this is our own event that's come. So in what ways, or how do you think your directorate can come in to that regard, sir?
Thank you very much. We have been sharing information on different social platforms where we have our students. We have been encouraging them to understand that this Poly TV is our own. And this is where you can begin to showcase whatever talent you have. And sincerely speaking, they are very excited. They are very excited. Maybe by next week when the student union hold their, what's it called? Talent hunt. You will see a lot. And from there, this week, thank you very much, you will see a lot. You will see a lot. In fact, I want to assure you that the student from Art and Design will surprise you that day. I am very certain. I have seen a lot, and in fact, don't let me give you don't let me give you expo. The students from music department, mass comm generally, they are pregnant with a lot of ideas. They are going to, deliver to make sure that this is our Poly TV, we sell it throughout the world. We spread the information amongst them, and they are cashing in already.
That's a fantastic one. Now, let's focus on the area of welfare. I want to talk about the hostel. Looking now, let's talk about Queen's Hostel. How many bed space are there? Queen's Hostel only.
Queen's Hostel, we have 252 bed spaces there.
Okay, so how are you managing their health with the recent outbreak, the cholera? So are there any measures put in place?
Yes. For Polytechnic Ilaro, we have a name, a very big name, just like my Big Sam. Yes. Immediately we heard the news. We received a letter from the Ministry of Health. Immediately we started putting measures in place. For instance, we knew that some will be coming from, different places, from Lagos, from anywhere. We made provision for water and soap, even sanitizer. So as you are coming in, you wash your hands thoroughly, sanitize your hand before you move into your rooms. And beyond that, we have always, been encouraging them. Each time you visit the toilet, you must wash your hand, and the provision is there. Then we encourage them. If you visit any bukateria or cafeteria or anywhere to eat, you must ensure that that environment is safe. And recently, about a week ago, the director put in place a committee, environmental and health whatever committee, chaired by Dr. Mrs. Afolayan. In fact, the committee has been doing wonderfully well. Visits to toilets, kitchenettes, even marketplaces, food vendors, telling them what to do, checking them, don't do this, don't put this there, do this, do this. And sincerely speaking, that has been wonderful. Even at the clinic, when you get there, you have to wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and all the rest. I think God is on our side. We have not recorded any case and we are not going to record any by the grace of God.
We really want to appreciate you for your time, Dr. Maomi, and we hope when next we call you and you gladly, attend to us. Thank you for coming on the show today, sir. We appreciate your presence on the show. We want to have a short break. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle. Welcome to the next segment on Poly TV show. That is the center stage, and today we have the sport director, that is Mr. Idowu, in the studio today to talk about sport. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's talk about the football match that happened on Saturday. Yes, between computer science and
Nutrition diabetes.
yes, and it was 5-0. It was quite very funny. So what do you have to say about that?
The match was somehow, seriously, it was a very interesting match. Because I was like, what is going on here? 5-0. How does it come up? Okay. Computer science is a great department that has a great team. Like, as in, they do train regularly. If you are going to the field now, you met them on the pitch now, training very hardly. And I can hear from the one of the students of nutrition, and they said no matter what and no matter how bad or good we are, we can never beat any department. I was like, are you are you seeing yourself as in you can't do anything? That means you don't believe in yourself. Seriously, from that gig, I can see some, let's say, I can see some players whereby if we can see some sponsor from different angles of Nigeria, these people can be a great man
Players.
like this Osimhen that we're talking about in Nigerian stuff like this. Seriously, we have a guy called if you can still remember, we have a guy called Muji. The guy assists SK to have the second goal. The first goal was somehow amazing because nutrition, they have a poor defense. Seriously, poor defense. Assuming they have a good defense like those computer science, probably the match will be 0-0. Okay. But normally, as they're playing it, from the start, computer science has been the defending team in the school of pure and applied science.
Okay.
That has been the defending team. I don't see from that angle they are having like, maybe if I'm getting it right, they are having like 7 departments under them.
Okay.
They are still the top since they are playing the match.
Okay, so I was going to find out from you. I'm sure that you are preparing for the Student Union Cup tournament.
Sure.
So what has been the preparation so far?
Well, we're still looking forward to have the approval in.
Do you have a date? Do you have a date yet?
Yeah, we have the date yet.
When is that?
But the date is not being disposed to
hasn't been
sport
approved yet.
director.
Okay,
Because
okay.
it's not been approved. But
Yeah, okay.
normally it's approved, it's not approved, it's going to start that day.
Okay.
That is July 24th of this month.
24th, right?
24th of this
This
month.
month.
It's going to start at the pitch, and we have some great teams.
I was
are
going to ask.
play.
So, what team are you tipping to emerge victorious in this year's Student Union tournament? Yeah, I know.
Because
we have some big departments. For instance, we have PAD, public admin. They've been displaying some series of excellence.
Now
You have
being
computer science.
the top table there.
Of course, public admin. We have computer science. You also have, I think, OTM too. They're not really
Just a
doing
little
bad.
bit,
Yeah, of
through the
course.
female.
Yeah, they're not really bad. And
the
then
female.
outside that we have, I think, mechanical also. I don't know. In the
And
time
civil
past.
engineering.
Civil engineering.
Civil
Okay,
engineering too.
of course. So, which of those teams are you tipping to emerge?
Seriously?
Okay, let's do it this way. Give me your top 3 teams for this year's Student Union tournament.
Wow.
Top 3.
Wow.
Coming from the sport director.
Let's say, from my own end, because I wish my department should have.
I was going to ask you that. What department are you from?
I'm from art and design.
Math and
Art and
design.
design.
Art and design, okay.
So,
Because
do you really see your department pulling any stunt?
Wow, they tried this friendly match they did within the faculty. That's a SR friendly match. They did well, seriously.
Okay.
Because some department came to me that said, sport director, wait till you give your people chop. I say, wait happen. They say they are playing of this friendly match is very different.
I think
I said, they have to be
there were
different.
times where art and design had to pull. I think there's a change, to that. Or
Seriously,
something
there's a change because at that time I can remember that was when we started growing.
now.
Then.
Of course.
That was when we started growing because art and design start from 5 upward to 7, go to 12, but now we thank God for that.
Okay. So are you counting art and design as number 3?
Wow, come on, Jeju me, but I'm still counting.
Okay.
today.
So let's have a number 2 take. Your number 2 pick.
Okay, I can see civil engineering too. I can see marketing. I can see PAD. A lot of them. A lot
I
of
want
them.
just
but
3.
let's
Just
see.
3 now.
I can't say my department should not be part of the 3.
But do you
Oh.
be objective?
Don't
do you really
be
see,
biased.
Of course.
Yeah, don't be biased.
Do you really
because
see them
winning.
winning? I'm
That's
talking
the
about
question.
winning now. So do you really see them winning this time around?
I see them
Sentiment
winning.
apart.
I see them winning.
You see them winning.
I see them winning.
July 24th.
If they are not having it,
right?
they will have the third.
3rd.
They will
Okay.
have the third.
So second, let's have your number 2 pick.
Okay, let me go by. Let me go by computer science.
computer science.
So why choose computer science?
The 5-0 thrashing is even enough.
Seriously, because that 5-0 himself, no matter what, oh my God, are we sleeping before the 5-0 enter the pitch? It's not. That's not possible. The goalkeeper said, is he sleeping? How does he close his eyes?
So computer science number 2, and your
Two.
number 1 pick for this year's student union
And I said the
tournament.
part.
Part. Why
Public
part?
administration
Because
department.
Seriously, they are really training too. They are training. If we can see, let's say we should just go to the pitch now. We met them there.
So that means, are we to say that you're not really expecting much from department like Masscom, BizAdmin? you know?
I'm expecting much from Masscom, but what I'm expecting much from Masscom is through the race. That's athletes.
Okay.
Athletes. I think
Because
over the
mostly-
years,
Okay.
they've been producing athletes or so.
Because mostly through this my game for this semester, I'm not basically sitting on one. Because I want to go into the aspect of all the sports activities we have in the school.
Okay.
Such as athletics, which is we have 2 games there, which is the track and the field events.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the track is 100-meter race, 200, 400, 800, 1005 upward, and then on the track, on the field event, we have the long jump, high jump, we have the javelin, shot put, discus, and so on and so
So
forth.
you're saying all these sports are much available
Seriously,
for this
they are
student
much
union
available.
this year?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes. But the only problem that we can say we might not be able to face them is the challenges of this currency of it.
The
Currency.
Currency.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any sponsor? Are you looking towards
I'm
spicing
looking
up your
for
event?
a lot of sponsors.
Okay.
I'm looking for a lot of, because firstly, let me say the first number 1 sponsor I'm looking for is the Bet Niger.
Okay.
Because Bet Niger is all about sports, but I'm not into grabbing tough things
okay.
like betting on.
Okay.
But what I know is that I know from that aspect, using them as a promoter can lead to some
I hope you're
student
you're
going
working
out,
towards that already.
Working towards it, very sure.
Okay.
And then some filling station and a school himself.
Okay.
Because I know school will be able and will be very happy to see that, wow, this, because we have an athlete then, I think her name is, I can't remember her name very well, but she's now a lecturer in the school now.
Wow, that's
School sponsor.
interesting. Wow, that's interesting.
That's
Very good one.
fantastic.
Now let's move away from the local sports activities now, and let's quickly talk about. I know you watch football a lot. I mean,
just a little,
so
not that much.
the Euros 2024 is underway. What team are you tipping to emerge victorious this year? So we have
Seriously.
I think we're now in the semi-finals today already. We have
True.
Portugal. So Portugal is
It's out,
evicted.
it's out.
So we have
because the France
Spain,
have sent them
we
out.
have England, we have France, and then we have I think Netherlands. Yeah. So which team are you tipping to emerge victorious?
I'm a little side of Mbappe's France. So
Okay.
you can know that means I want the
So
France
you
to carry the
are you
cup.
saying you are seeing France? You see
as in
France.
Mbappe himself.
Okay,
You know
wow.
Mbappe is from France. So
But don't forget Spain they've looked so dominating.
they are look so dominating, but most especially, when there has a lot of people calling some names like celeb, I feel like, wow, people are calling my name. Don't you know that? Okay, now look at Mbappe and then look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo brought up Mbappe
Okay.
because
that's his
it's
idol.
like looking at him like,
Of course,
this
as
is
an
my
idol,
father
yeah.
up here. So what am I saying here?
So
Then they are now meeting at the same pitch. You're like,
and Mbappe is a victim.
They're gonna shake their
evicted.
hands and
Of
then
course.
play
but
against
after
each
the
other.
match, like, so now they just take Mbappe. You this guy. Well, I got no choice. Just due to the penalty stuff.
Okay, and penalty is a game of luck. And also for the Copa America, do you think Argentina has what it takes to
On that aspect,
or Uruguay?
Argentina may try.
Argentina. Okay.
No fans of Messi.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's come back to the local scene.
Okay.
Yeah, let's come back. So the team playing for the SU Cup, how are they preparing and how are they getting ready for the coming match?
Seriously, I would have said it earlier, but because first, we're supposed to have a cup, which is the Dean's Cup before the Student Union Cup.
Okay.
But eventually, we are waiting for the approval. Assuming the approval come up today, the Dean's Cup will start on Wednesday, which is the combination of all the faculties in the school. So we have the 6 faculties in the school. So, and the draw has already been made. And then this game that we're talking about is both the male and the female that are ready to participate. Go to the pitch, you see the female put in all their efforts. No, this faculty must not beat my faculty. Sort of things like that. And a lot of games they are there. Taekwondo, Scrabble, chess. A lot.
Thank you very
It's fun.
much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
We must appreciate you for your time coming on the show today. Thank
Yeah.
you so much,
It's my pleasure.
Sport Director, and wish you all the very best in your endeavor as the Sport Director
Thank you very
of
much,
the
sir.
Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Thank you very much, sir.
We'll quickly go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. You're still on to that segment of Poly TV show, and that's Center Table. And on this particular one, we have our guest in the studio today. She's a fashion enthusiast, and also she's into fashion and designing. And we have Yetunde Odeyemi. You're welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, so I'm aware that you've been doing fashion for a long time, and you're also a student. Am I correct?
Yes.
So tell us about yourself, like.
Okay, Yetunde Odeyemi. Mostly I'm popularly known as Bunchy, and my brand name is Bunchy Collections. On Instagram, Bunchy_collections. So I've been into this for about 3 years now, and I've been using it to pay my school fees, house
Wow.
rent. I'm presently in HND1, so it has really been helping me.
What department precisely?
Nutrition and dietetics.
So that's you are a student of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro.
Yes.
Nutrition and dietetics. Wow. Okay, so let's start with so far you've been doing this for 3 years, and in that 3 years, can you sum up the amount you've been able to raise like so far?
Okay, I should say if I should calculate my school fees, house rent, and everything, expenses in school, it should be close
$1 million?
to $1 million.
Wow.
By the grace of God.
Damn.
Okay, that's fantastic. That's great. That's great. But I want to talk about something else now. So I want to talk about styling.
Okay.
And I'm also going to be using indecent dressing. Dressing indecently, is it expensive?
Left to me, dressing indecently is expensive, and people don't know. When you dress decently, it is cheaper.
Oh, really?
Yes.
this is
getting-
fascinating.
Yeah.
So you mean dressing indecently is expensive, but dressing decently is cheaper?
It's
Can you
cheaper.
please explain further?
Okay, recently, if you notice students, they do wear designers. They call it designers, especially for females. But most of it is Abba made. And if you hear the prices they call it, you will be very shocked. But if you go for, like me now, I do tell my customers that, let me know your budget. Then I can work towards it. If you tell me your budget, okay, this is the amount I have, 5,000 naira, I can sew something nice for you
For
with
that
that
price.
5,000 naira. And you will still be looking great. Okay, you want to sew a corset dress, you don't need to expose your body before you can look smart. So to me, it is actually much more expensive to dress indecently than when you dress decently.
I think from what you just said now, I was going to say something that to me, I believe that there's this thing they call crop top.
Yeah.
But that crop top, I was at a store one day and I was asking the man, this your crop top, is it for baby or something? Because it was looking like a wear for a baby or something. So he said, when he mentioned the price, he said it was around 25K. I was like, crop top for 25,000 naira.
Exactly.
You know, so I was really shocked. I don't know.
Exactly.
So do you really think, to be exposing your body or so, is that a way for you to, to really show your fashion sense?
No, exposing your body doesn't mean you are showing your fashion sense.
Okay.
If you expose your body, there's a way people will approach you. They can tell you that you are an alert, and they can, even a responsible person, let's use a lady dressing indecently, a responsible guy cannot come and approach you when you dress irresponsibly.
So that's the saying that you can dress nicely and still slay.
Exactly. You can, with what I'm wearing now, I made this.
Okay.
You know, I told you I'm a fashion designer with my brand.
So what's the style called?
Bunchy collection. This is a fish dress.
A fish
Red dress.
Okay.
red dress. Wow.
So how much does this cost?
Well, I would say this cost me 20K. to make
Okay. Well, and
this.
that's quite affordable.
Yeah, but it's also expensive, thinking from student perspective.
Well, depending on where you are wearing your dress to the
Okay.
occasion.
And also your
matters,
budget, like
and
you
your
said.
budget. I told you I work with budget. And again, if you want to dress, you need to look smart, look nice. Not that when you dress, if you dress irresponsibly, you'll be like now with the way I dress, assuming I'm wearing a short
You have to
dress,
start adjusting.
I will start adjusting it. I won't be comfortable.
Yeah.
So comfortability too matters when you are trying to look good.
Okay, so how do you handle clients that, with what you've said now, I know that you don't buy into indecent dressing.
Exactly.
So how do you handle clients that want you to, you're in the student environment, and of course they will come to patronize you, I want something to open my, but how do you handle them? How do you
Okay.
make them understand that, well, you can sew something nice, that you don't have to show your body?
Okay, I will use that crop top that I said as an example.
Okay.
There's a style trending now, a crop top with a pencil skirt and a boo-boo sleeve. That is what is trending now.
Okay.
So most people, when they come to meet me for that style, I will tell them that, okay, why don't you let the skirt be an high-waist skirt, and the top will still be cropped up, but it will be covering the navel. Whereby, even if you raise your hand up, they are not seeing your navel, they are seeing the skirt, the high-waist skirt. So you can still dress cute and still not expose your body.
I feel the navel looks sexy.
Yes, they feel it looks sexy, but if you look at it, you are not actually looking responsibly if you
And
are exposing your
Of course,
navel.
I was going to ask you. Sorry for cutting you short. You know, as a fashion designer, do you feel awkward? You know, making dress for customers who insist on doing them. You know, in such inappropriate manner.
I don't feel awkward, but if I see that maybe you are not trying to understand what I'm saying, then
just
I
let it
can
go.
just let it go.
Just make it for them.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's talk about you as a person. Okay, I mean you're a fashion designer.
Yes.
So do you also focus on styling? Do you style your clients?
Yes, I style them. I can think of my own inspiration and just
Okay.
give it to them. Like now, what I'm wearing, there was no any.
You didn't see it from anywhere.
I
You
didn't
just
get it
was an
from anywhere.
inspiration.
I just inspired myself. Okay, let me just make something like this for myself, at least just to showcase my brand, Bunchy Collections.
Do you have
So-
other dress inspirations? You know that you can show
Yes,
us. Also?
yes, I have it here.
Okay.
Like this now, this is a corset dress, a Ankara cup corset dress.
Okay.
Okay.
And I bidded it a little, looking
Wow.
at the person's budget. At least
Okay.
what I'm having here is 25K. I made it for the
25,000 naira.
And
Wow, and that's quite. That's not too much of a budget.
For a
I
student,
think this is
I think
Ankara,
it's
right?
quite,
yes, this is Ankara.
this is quite well for this
When you
style.
say students, these are students that
This is
do
also made
data.
for the students.
Students spend 25K on data monthly. Damn, I
Exactly.
can assure you.
I'm
So
thinking
they can
from a
afford it.
different perspective
If you call
entirely.
it any amount for
course.
them, so far they are getting it from the best, and they know that once they make it, they won't have any complaint. They will.
And don't forget, these are also students
for
that wear you know they wear designers. What's it called?
designer worth of 50K.
50,000
so
and so-
they can afford it.
Okay, so that's great. So let's talk about. Not everyone wants to wear Ankara lace. Not everyone. People are going for English dresses these days.
This what I'm wearing is not Ankara. It is English. I can wear it out and still look smart.
Okay.
So I don't focus mainly on native. I
wear.
go outside for other options too that you want.
So you mean what you're wearing now? Can you also can you wear an what is it ETA also on it? The what do you call
Yes, okay,
this
for
outfit?
people that don't like exposing their
Air
Air.
or something.
yes, you can, and you still look good and
Okay.
look smart. So it doesn't stop you from looking decent. You don't
Okay,
need
so
to look
what's the
indecent.
lowest price I can get a dress that is decent and okay, that's formal, that it's nice?
Okay, the lowest amount I saw if you will be bringing your fabric is 5,000 naira. That's the
Without
lowest.
bringing, without fabrics.
Without fabric, it begins from 10K upward. That will be simplest
Something
of all.
simple.
Okay.
10K upward.
Simple and not exposing.
Exactly.
you should have that. Also.
Yes, and not exposing. Okay, but we have gowns that are English dress. I'm talking for low budget students now. Students that no designers. No, they look
Something
yeah.
no, simple and
Yes, something
straightforward.
simple. And we have gowns of 5,000 naira.
Yes, exactly. I know there are gowns of 5,000 naira, but why you're saying there is a gown of 5,000 naira, is the quality okay?
Okay.
So I don't make clothes because though I will tell you what is your budget. At
Okay.
the same time, I will have to buy something quality, not something you wear once and you'll be calling me or you'll be cursing me. This tailor has disappointed me. No. So while I'm trying to work towards your budget, at the same time, I'm working with quality.
So let's talk about the students of the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro. What can you say about their fashion sense?
Well, their fashion sense is okay to me because they are very, very decent compared to other schools that have gone, other institutions. They are very, very decent, I must say.
Okay,
Yes.
and also how do you combine classes with what you're doing? Is it really easy?
Okay, it's not easy, but I make sure it is easy for me. Like today now, I have lecture around 12 to 2. So I can just wake up as early as possible, sew from 6 to 10, then start preparing for classes.
Really want to
Thank
appreciate
you
you for your
so
time
much.
here today. Thank you for coming on the show today. Next time we call you, be there for us. All right, we're going on a short break. We'll be right back.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá. ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV láwa. ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly TV. Poly TV Ilaro la kalẹ̀ sí o. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo ayé ń fẹ́. Móhùnmáwòrán tí gbogbo èèyàn ń fẹ́. Ìròyìn kò máa dẹ tá mojú bá. Poly TV tí gbogbo ayé ń retí. A ní ẹ máa gbọ́ wá kẹ́ máa wò wá Poly. Poly TV Ilaro la kalẹ̀ sí o. Tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́, ẹ ti máa gbọ́ pé Poly TV ẹ ti máa gbọ́, wá dẹ̀ ẹ ti máa gbọ́ o. Poly TV Ilaro la wà nínú Poly gangan o, nínú Poly la wà o. Poly TV, Poly TV, Poly TV wá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́ o. Móhùnmáwòrán wa táwa fẹ́ ní ìdàgbàsókè wa wá dẹ̀ ti máa gbọ́. Poly fún dàgbàsókè, TV fún dàgbàsókè o. Wá ti máa gbọ́, wá ti máa gbọ́ o. Ó yá pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Ó yá pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV tá ń sọ ní gbogbo ayé. Ẹ pàkúrú máa kẹ́wò dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa l'Amẹ́ríkà, ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ìlú o. Pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Pàkúrú máa kẹ́jọ dáadáa kẹ́ wò wá o. Poly TV o tí gbogbo àwa ń retí. Ilẹ̀ yé wa la kalẹ̀ sí nílùú Ìlaró wa. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ wa ni. Tẹlifíṣàn fún ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ gbogbo wa. Ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ pàkúrúmá, pàkúrúmá, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ pàkúrúmá, ẹ jó dáadáa, ẹ pàkúrúmá.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for still watching, and thank you so much for coming here today. We really appreciate you. And Sam, I think we have to wrap up for today. Yes.
Yeah, we must admit that it's been a fantastic time today.
Yeah.
And we've heard from a fashion designer. She said something that really that struck my heart, and that's what she said. You know, dressing, indecently
is more expensive. Yes.
While dressing decently
isn't
expensive. Wow. Really appreciate it. Yetunde Ode Yemi,
Thank you so
Bunch
much.
Collections. Thank you, Bunchy Collections. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a very wonderful time today on Poly TV show, and we'll be wrapping up the segment. Just ensure that you keep on following us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Poly TV Ilaro. Yeah, just log on to YouTube and search Poly TV Ilaro. You know, subscribe, like, engage, share with your friends. You know, from departments to communities across all boards. Ensure you keep on, sharing our videos and as well as our content on all social media platforms.
Thank you so much. So now we have to wrap up for today. The show continues tomorrow, and it promises to be very edutainment, so don't miss out.
And also don't forget Mondays to Friday would always give you content that would educative content, as well as content that would ensure that you are entertained, edutainment towards excellence.
Yeah, so it's Polytechnic Ilaro, television towards development. My name is Damilola Adekunle. I'm signing out.
I'm Samuel Olaniyan. See you some other time. Bye.
Bye.
Audio Jungle.